It's not all bad news for West Virginia and the transfer portal. Yes, they've lost some players, but they have also picked up a couple of commitments out of the portal within the last 24 hours. Who are they? Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and let me give you this transfer portal update for the West Virginia Mountaineers. Let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Couz. Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. So pull that chair up and let me serve you up this shot of top shelf college football content. In this episode, we're talking West Virginia and the transfer portal. I will give you an update on who the Mountaineers have lost, but then I'm going to break down a couple of commitments that they've picked up from a couple of players in the last 24 hours. Now, first, let's talk about the guys who they've lost. Yes, West Virginia has lost a total of 16 guys to the transfer portal. The most recent one, offensive lineman Chris Mayo. He was a backup offensive lineman, so he had not really contributed much as far as on the field statistics or performance, but he was part of the depth, and depth does play a factor in these transfer portal losses at some point. And he is the second offensive lineman that has went into the portal, following Jordan White, who went in last week. The other notable players that have went into the portal, obviously quarterback J.T. Daniels, backup quarterback Goose Crowder, wide receiver Caden Prather, starting nose tackle Jordan Jefferson, backup defensive end Taj Austin, who recently committed to Colorado, and Coach Prime. Like I mentioned, backup offensive lineman Jordan White, who did actually start the Pitt game to start the year, but then ended up losing his spot. Then right at the beginning of the cycle, we lost starting cornerback Charles Woods, who has now transferred to SMU. But what I want to focus on in this video is the two players we have picked up out of the portal. Now, West Virginia's offered a lot of guys. They've offered a lot of wide receivers, a lot of defensive backs, some notable linebackers, some notable linemen. They've offered guys at pretty much every position. But so far, we've only gotten two commitments. They are wide receiver Jashawn Poke and defensive back Montre Miller. Both of these players are from Kent State out of the MAC Conference. And I know a lot of you are going to complain, why are we getting these guys from lower level schools? Well, you know what? A lot of teams are getting players from lower level schools. Some of these players are really talented. Give them a chance. Don't bash these young men before they've even stepped foot on campus or put on a West Virginia uniform. Obviously, the coaches see something in them, or they would not be offering them. Now, I do hope that these coaches do a better job in the portal than they did last year. A lot of the guys they got out of the portal in 2022 did not work out. They did not perform well and performed worse than the guys that transferred out from those same positions. And I actually have a video plan to do once I have the time to sit down and do the research that I'm going to present to you that will prove that. But anyway, let's keep moving. Wide receiver Jashawn Poke. I'm going to play a few of his highlights as I talk about this commitment here. But you look at Jashawn Poke. He's a 5'10", 173-pound wide receiver out of Hampton, Georgia. He's a quick twitch, fast guy. He's a slot receiver that we've really been missing from this team ever since Winston Wright left. Reese Smith was expected to fill that role last year. I didn't think it really worked out. Reese Smith did not have the season he had hoped. And he's another name I left off from that earlier list. He has also entered the transfer portal because he just did not see the production he wanted to see at West Virginia. Fast, quick twitch guy. Like I said, he's only 5'10", but as you can see in these highlights, he's extremely quick and extremely fast, can make people miss in space. And he's also, not only is he a wide receiver, he's also very solid in the kick return game. Here are his stats from his senior year at Kent State. He had 31 receptions for 362 yards and a touchdown, an average of 11.7 yards per catch. Now, that may not blow you away, but he also returned 14 kickoffs for 411 yards, an average of 29.4 yards per return. So really good in the kickoff game. And my guess is West Virginia is probably bringing Poke in not to be the number one guy, but to be a number two or even a number three receiver on this team. Be a guy you can throw it to and on a screen pass, let him get yards in space, that type of thing, and then also help in the kick return game because we're losing some of our production there with Sam James moving on. Now, the only other offer that I've been able to find for Poke in the transfer portal was Ball State, another group of five school. So, but like I said, don't be bashing the young man. Let's give this young man a chance. As you can see by his highlights, he's talented. The kid's got some skills here. So give him a chance. Let him come in, put on the gold and blue, prove what he can do, and I think he could be a good player for us. And apparently the coaching staff does too, or they wouldn't have made this offer. Now, the other player I want to talk about is Montre Miller. He's a defensive back also from Kent State, ironically. We picked up 2 commitments from guys out of Kent State on the same day. Once again, I will share the highlights with you as I talk about this commitment here. Montre Miller, as you see this great catch he makes here, picking off a pass, that's actually his 2021 tape there. But when you look at Montre Miller, he's a 5'10", 179-pound cornerback. Now, 5'10", he's not real tall, not real long, but he makes up for it with his athleticism. He's originally out of Blythewood, South Carolina. His stats for the 2022 season, he had 52 total tackles, 40 of them solos, 2 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery. Now, in 2021, he actually had 4 interceptions in 2021. So he actually had a better season interception-wise in 21. Also had 8 pass deflections in 21. Now, another interesting stat I picked up is when looking at his game logs, he actually had a really good game. He had actually played well against Power 5 competition. In their game in 2022 against the Georgia Bulldogs, he actually had one of his interceptions in that game, picking off a Stetson Bennett pass. He also had a pass deflection in that game and had a pass deflection against Oklahoma in the 2022 season. Now, other offers for Miller out of the portal: Duke, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Tulane, Cal, Georgia Southern, Georgia State. So he did have some other Power 5 offers. His final 3 came down to Duke, West Virginia, and Wake Forest. He ended up picking West Virginia. Now, another interesting piece to this, there are a couple of more players from Kent State West Virginia is targeting out of the portal. One is an offensive lineman who's actually a native of West Virginia, and the other is another wide receiver named Dante Cephas, who could potentially be that alpha dog number 1 guy that I was talking about earlier. Now, I want to hear your thoughts, Couz Corner family, in the comment section. What do you think about these 2 offers these 2 commitments that West Virginia has from Jashawn Poke and Montre Miller? Do you think these are good additions? I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but both of these gentlemen have 1 year of eligibility remaining. Poke may have 2 years of eligibility remaining. I haven't been able to confirm that, but Miller only has 1. But I know Miller only has 1 because this will be his 6th season in college football. He had a redshirt year in 2018 plus the COVID year. So this will be his 6th and final year of eligibility. As far as Jashawn Poke, I know he's played at Kent State for 4 years, but he may have redshirted in 2019. If anybody's watching this who knows the answer to that question, please let me know in the comment section. Also, if you want to support this channel here financially, help me grow this thing, there's 3 different ways you can do that. Actually, there's several ways, but the main 3, you can check out my merch store. Click one of the pictures of my merch below the description box. It'll take you right into my merch store, get you a hoodie, a T-shirt, a ball cap, a beanie, whatever you want over there. I've got several different items, several different designs to choose from. You can join Couz's Corner, become a channel member by hitting the join button right below. Take advantage of the perks I have to offer right now. I'm putting on a Capital One Bowl Mania contest. I've put a link to it in the members only, in the community tab for members only. You go on the ESPN site for free, fill out winner of every bowl game. Whoever picks the most winners will get a prize. It will be a $25 gift card. Obviously, bowl games have already started, but it may not be too late to enter if you want to enter. Also, you can hit the thanks button right below this video. It's a little heart with a $ in it. You can make a one-time donation. Also, leave a comment along with it that I should be able to see. It should get highlighted from there. Or you can check out my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal links in the description box to make a one-time donation here to the channel. If you want to support me absolutely free, there's 4 ways you can do that. You can like the video, share the video with your friends, drop that comment below. Let me know what you think about these additions for West Virginia or the portal as a whole and how it's impacted West Virginia. Last but not least, hit the red subscribe button. I think it's a white subscribe button now if you're watching on your phone. But nonetheless, please subscribe. Also, hit the red notification bell to be notified of future videos so you don't miss future videos and live streams that I may come out with. With that being said, Couz's Corner family, I really appreciate you tuning into this episode. And until the next one, Q Country Roads. West Virginia.